Maybe you don't know where they are. A man from Alberta might have a solution for you. We're here today with Keith, who has invented something called skiKrumb. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, Keith, tell me about what this is.
So it's my invention. A little over 10 years ago, my son and I got separated while we were skiing, and I didn't like it. And I ran a tech company for over 20 years, and I knew there had to be a better way. It turns out it's not a very easy problem to solve because ski hills are very challenging environments. Cell connectivity is a challenge, cell phones freeze, but we solved it with skiKrumb. So it is a car fob-sized GPS device that uses radio to transmit instead of cell. So we get into more nooks and crannies on the hill and longer range. My record transmission is actually from the top of Sun Peaks to the top of Revelstoke, 125 kilometers away.
Wow. So how does it work? Does the child have the tracker, and how does the parent receive his transmission?
Yeah, generally, although I think adults should have trackers too at times. Yeah. But yeah, so generally this just goes in the kid's pocket, and it transmits every 10 seconds. So you get live updates on a 3D map every 10 seconds on your phone. So if your kid's off skiing on their own, or if they go in the trees and come out the other side, or take a wrong turn, you can find them quite quickly.
Okay, so this doesn't work right now at every ski hill. It was adopted by quite a few in British Columbia first, right? Yeah,
we're at about 10 ski hills right now, and I expect to be at a lot more. We're in negotiations with some very large resorts in the U.S. and a very large one in Canada as well.
Okay.
And
but here in Alberta, Marmot Basin.
Yes, Marmot Basin is our first Alberta hill, and I'm very excited about that because it's also the first mountain that I ever skied at. So I grew up in Westlock, just north of Edmonton, went to U of A, lived in Calgary for a long time. And when I drove up to Marmot, I was instantly transported back to when I was 13 years old, going to my first mountain, and that excitement and that freedom that you get from skiing, which is awesome. We just give you a little bit of peace of mind with that fun.
As a 13-year-old skiing at Marmot, were your parents now looking at this going, we wish we had this back then?
Yeah, it's funny. I learned to ski at Tawatna Valley, just north of Edmonton. It's a very small ski hill. My mom would drop us off and go cross-country skiing, and you know, which is very common. And of course, we always came back, although we did lose my cousin briefly one time, but we found him again.
And this could have solved it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say parents or anybody is interested in this, because it works through radio frequency, from what I understand. You can't use it at every ski hill right now, but let's say you go to Marmot, you've got your 8-year-old in tow. How do we get this? How do we make this work for us?
Yeah, so you can buy it online, or you can buy it in the Marmot retail shop. It's $199 and then a $50 a year subscription. Or you can rent it for $20 a day. And yes, we use radio, so there's antennas up at our hills, but it will work anywhere you can see the top of Marmot. So it'll work in Jasper. It'll work in the hiking trails around Jasper.
Okay. If you go to the website, are you able to see which ski hills this is?
Yeah, we have them listed. Listed there. And yeah, I also wanted to point out, because I've had thousands of these conversations, and parents will buy AirTags for their kids. And most people don't know that you need to be within 30 feet of an iPhone for an AirTag to work, any iPhone. But when you're skiing, it's just not appropriate. And even Apple says don't put these on people. So by having a dedicated device, battery lasts 2 or 3 days. It's not going to freeze up in the cold. You know if you need it. Kind of like a helmet, you might not ever hit your head. You might not ever need the skiKrumb, but if you do, you're sure glad you have it. Yeah,
you want to find your kid in the trees or in the snow or wherever they might have skied off to.
Yeah, one of my family, so they ski 50 or 60 times a year, and the mom was skiing with a 5- and an 8-year-old, and the 5-year-old just started taking off. And she looked over her shoulder, and her daughter was there, and then she wasn't. And so she opened our app. 4 minutes later, they were together. So there's no tears, no stress. You carry on with your fun day.
Yeah.
Because you only have maybe 4 or 5 hours of skiing, and if you lose even half an hour of that or stress, it just kind of takes a fun day and turns it not
For sure,
fun.
and the panic, right? Like you can't see your kid on a massive ski hill with multiple runs, of course. Keith, thank you so much for telling us about this, for coming in today. If you would like more information about skiKrumb, you can head to their website. It's skiKrumbGPS.com. Krumb is spelled K-R-U-M-B.
You can't undo what was done. You need to forgive yourself.